Hello Caldwell, this is Ron doing a trade recap for the Chfjpy trade from a few weeks ago. I did some analyzation and found a few things I could do to mitigate a couple of the errors that I've been making. So the first step that we'll go with is, if you see the red line, that's where I originally entered, and as you can see, price went roughly 56 pips, but we can say 50 pips to be certain. So with price moving down 50 pips, having 3 positions open, that gives about 150 pips in profit before price reversed and stopped me out. So how I can capitalize on those pips before price reverses on me next time is, if you look to the left, if you scroll the screen to the left, you'll notice that I have put 1, 2, 3, 4 dark circles. So these dark circles are signifying that this area here is resistance, resistance, resistance. This is a strong selling pressure. Price couldn't break through. And if we move to the fourth area, is resistance, it's support, which its resistance turned into support. So right before price turned into broke that resistance to turn into support, you can see there was a big bullish candle, and then price danced around the resistance area and got pushed down. Then right after, there was a bullish engulfing candle which then turned this resistance into support by engulfing all these candles right here. So if we move to the right, I had drawn this line here to show the support turned into resistance. So now with price going down, there's a high probability that before it passes through to go all the way down here, price is going to dance around that support area that I drew from the past, which it did dance around that area. So by opening 4 positions, I could have exited one of them roughly in that area to be positive 50 pips, and move my other 3 positions to break even. That way, when price moves back up, it's gonna close the positions flat, and I end up being 50 pips positive. Or if, depending on my risk tolerance, if I was to open 5 positions now, I could have been positive 100 pips, and then when price retraces back, it closes at break even, and I have another opportunity to enter again, based on price action, right? But if price doesn't reverse back and continues to keep going down, that means I have locked in 100 pips already, and I could move my stop losses to the area where I exited the other 2 positions. That way, if price goes down and then retraces back, I will exit the other 3 positions at positive 150 pips, which will then make the trade a profitable 250 pips if I had 5 positions open, and positive 200 pips if I had 4 positions open from the beginning. Let me know if that's making sense. And yeah, so that's one way I thought of that I could do to mitigate getting stopped out at negative with a negative loss. And also, if you, with my current trade that's open right now, the New Zealand USD, this red mark signifies where I had initially opened the trade, and my stop losses were, move them back, I think they were around here. Yeah, so with my stop losses being there, this trade is probably, so far now, it's turned into, say, 45, 234. So if we say 200, 250, and this is, and we say this is a 50 pip stop loss, so it would be 1:5. So it's a 1:5 trade at the moment. So going back to my entry point, I entered at this candle here. Only 3 positions though. I should have entered 4, but I had been on a bad losing streak, so psychology just made me stick to opening 3 positions. But if we put a marker from where we entered all the way to this red line here that I drew, and I'll show you why I drew it, it's roughly, say, 140 pips. So if we go to the left, actually it's easier if we turn it into the week chart. You'll notice that that red line is support on a weekly level. So if we move back here, that's where price bounced and it went back up and it came back down. So with that being said, if this area here from the left is a strong support on a weekly level, even daily level too, it shows that it's, yeah, even daily too, it shows that it's a strong support level. And you notice that price just, red candle just broke through that support. So if I had 4 positions open, like I mentioned with the previous example, and price would have hit that area, I could have exited 1, and that would have given me positive 140 pips just for that 1 position. And we move these stop losses to break even, and we let price do what it has to do. So as you can see, I could have moved the stop losses even further down, but for some reason I felt that this trade's gonna work in my favor and keep going down and to test this low. So once price does hit here, retest the low, that is going to be a 270 pip move, right? So if I had 4 positions opened, I would have cleaned out 140 pips on 1, and I'm still positive with the other 3 positions. And if per se, if I move these 3 positions, the stop losses down to this 140 pip close, 150 pip stop loss, that would mean if price retraces back, I'm gonna be positive 140 pips times 3 3. Let's do that with a calculator. So that's 140 times 3. It would give me positive 420 pips. So let's say if I did have the 4 positions open and I closed one at 140 pips, that would mean the other 3 positions, if I move them here, hoping price is gonna test this low, are gonna give me secure another 420 pips. I might be kind of all over the place because I'm just going off the top of my head. I didn't like make a script or anything, but let me know if what I'm saying makes sense in terms of mitigating my risk in terms of securing pips as price moves. That way, if it retraces, I can close the trade in positive instead of negative. Yeah, so that's my analysis for New Zealand and New Zealand USD and the other trade CHF JPY. Alright.